Okay, UK fans, we finally got it, and it's almost here. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid, and today we are talking about Clash at the Castle. More specifically, 5 matches that I want to see at Clash at the Castle. So, this is my personal opinion, my personal list. Do not come at me. And yes, this is a UK-based show. There's a fair bit of UK talent in here because why not showcase the best of Brit Wres on the grandest stage of them all? That's my logic going into this. So I want to know, first of all, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what your match is. What do you want to see at Clash of the Castle? Let me know down in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more wrestling content, and shall we just get straight into the list? So we're actually starting off with a 5.5 because this isn't technically a match. This is just something that I want to see on the show, and that is Nigel McGuinness on commentary. Since he was in NXT with Mauro Ranallo, he has been my favourite commentator in all of WWE. I love his insight, I love the way he delivers things, his technical knowledge, everything. I think Nigel McGuinness is a fantastic commentator, and having him on the UK show, I think that'd just be great all round. You know, maybe swap him out with maybe a Corey Graves or a Byron Saxton, and just let him be there. I think that'd be great. So that's my 5.5. Now let's get into the actual matches. So at number 5, it's a triple threat for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I would like to see Liv Morgan taking on Ronda Rousey, taking on Charlotte Flair. I think, genuinely, Charlotte Flair has been a little bit missed on WWE TV, particularly on SmackDown. SmackDown's women division, while it's got very talented competitors, hasn't sort of been elevated. It feels like they're missing a big star in the form of Charlotte Flair. And this triple threat to me sort of mirrors the WrestleMania 35 match with Becky, Ronda and Charlotte, only now you've got Liv in the mix. And a match like this triple threat, I feel like could really be a star-making performance for Liv, because if you think about it, the way she was treated in the Ronda Rousey match at SummerSlam, she was dominated. And here she's got the odds stacked against her again. She's the underdog babyface. But what this gives the opportunity for, more than a singles match, is that babyface fire. Just imagine a spot where both Charlotte and Ronda are coming at Liv, and Liv just fires back. She starts blasting Charlotte, starts blasting Ronda. Crowd goes wild. She gets this really fiery comeback and eventually defends her belt against 2 of the biggest stars in the industry. And then Rousey and Charlotte, if that's what Trips wants, can go off and have their thing while Liv Morgan stands tall. I think it'd be really great for her to get a win on such a big stage. But what I'm also pitching in this match is a call-up. I think now is the time to call up Blair Davenport to the main roster, the former Bea Priestley, because she's fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic. Great at promos, great in the ring, great look. She's a fully fledged package. I think she can purely bypass NXT 2.0. Yes, 2.0. So I would potentially call up, I nearly said Bea Priestley, Blair Davenport for this. If not Blair Davenport, maybe Alba Fire. I think one of the two. I think now is the time to call up one of those 2 women, because both are great and both are underutilized in their current roles in NXT UK and NXT 2.0 for that matter. So that is my number 5 pick. Coming in at number 4, let's talk about the tag championships. The Usos still have the gold. They have all the gold, and what better way? This one's pure fantasy booking right now, because I am changing a lot of stuff to make this match happen. I want to see the Usos take on Pretty Deadly. I think it's time they got a call up, because they again are just a fully fledged package, taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans in a ladder match. Because why not? I can dream, can't I? I think the damage that has been done on NXT 2.0 to the Grizzled Young Veterans makes me so sad and honestly breaks my heart, because they were one of my favourite tag teams in the world in like 2019, and They're phenomenal. They are absolutely phenomenal wrestlers, and I don't understand why they've been relegated to Joe Gacy's lackeys when they're a perfect package. You know, Liverpool's number one. Think about the heat you will get in a stadium that size. James Drake and Zach Gibson could honestly draw an incredible amount of heat from that crowd. And I think Pretty Deadly being in there as well. Pretty Deadly, it's definitely time for them to get the call up because they have just done phenomenal work, phenomenal character work, phenomenal matches in NXT UK, NXT 2.0. So I think calling them up, declaring that they want to face the Usos on their home turf of the UK, I think would be great. And stick them in a ladder match because, oh my God, they could tear the house down. Absolutely could. And I would, if it was me booking this, I'd probably have Pretty Deadly win and dethrone the Usos. I think it gives a nice pop to the UK fan base. It elevates a new team, and also we can get the singles match at the next pay-per-view with Pretty Deadly being a mainstay on the main roster. So yeah, that's my fourth pick. Coming in at number 3 for the US Championship, because this is what I'm predicting happens on Raw. I could be very wrong, and this video could be very out of date. I want to see Ciampa take on Kevin Owens for the US Championship, because Kevin Owens under Triple H, I think, can be elevated again. He's not just going to be the goofball who gets battered by Stone Cold at WrestleMania. He's not going to be the talk show host. I'm hoping he goes back to being the prize fighter, Kevin Owens, against this heel Ciampa who hopefully separates from The Miz. Because there's a story to tell there. I can't remember if they ever addressed sort of the animosity between the two during the War Games match and sort of the build around NXT Survivor Series 2019. Like they sort of had those trust issues and that. So I think it'd be really interesting to see these two go at each other on a big stage for the US Championship. Try and elevate the US Championship some more by having incredible matches and incredible work rate with two really big stars. And you want to elevate Ciampa. Having Ciampa beat Kevin Owens, I think it'd be great. It'd be great pop for the crowd. And yeah, I really think this match should happen sooner rather than later, which is why it's my number 3. So this is the one that's probably going to draw me the most sort of flack, because it's whether this should be defended on a main roster pay-per-view is entirely up for debate, but I would like to see the NXT UK Championship defended at Clash of the Castle, whether it be, I'm not quite sure where they're up to in terms of story, whether it be Ilya Dragunov or Tyler Bate defending the belt, but I'd like to see either Ilya Dragunov or Tyler Bate defend the NXT UK Championship against Sheamus, because Sheamus has proven himself to be a phenomenal talent on the main roster. His match with Drew was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I think there's a story to tell here of Sheamus trying to get on the Clash at the Castle card, whether it be in vying for the tag belts, vying for the Intercontinental Championship. We'll get to that later. And eventually he calls out the NXT UK champion. Maybe rename it to the WWE UK Championship. I think that'd be quite nice. And have a barn burner with Tyler Bate or Ilya Dragunov. I think it just works. You've got two huge UK stars on a UK pay-per-view, and you get to showcase that belt. You want more eyes on NXT UK. Have Sheamus put on a banging match with the UK champion and eventually lose, putting over a younger star like Tyler Bate, who's surely on his way to the main roster at some point, or at least NXT 2.0. God, I hope not. And we'll see where that goes. But I think there's nothing to lose here. You want exposure. Would you rather see an NXT UK Championship match between Sheamus and the UK champion? Or would you rather see a Baron Corbin match? It's a no-brainer for me, which is why it's number 2. And finally, my number 1 pick in the match that I want to see at Clash of the Castle, and I have reason for this. I have logic. I have storylines in my head. This is the most out there shot, the most bizarre, weird match, but the one I want to see the most because I'll get to it. So, the Intercontinental Championship. Walter, still not going to call him Gunther. Walter, the Intercontinental Champion. I want to see him defend the Intercontinental Championship against Harry Smith. Now, you might be saying, wait, Harry Smith isn't even hired by WWE. He's currently wrestling in the NWA. I think there's 4 weeks build to this match. I think you could easily get Harry Smith in to come via maybe open challenge on the pay-per-view. Walter's destroyed everyone on SmackDown and he issues an open challenge at Clash of the Castle and the British Bulldogs music hits. Crowd erupts. Out comes Davey Boy Smith Jr. or Harry Smith, whatever they're going to call him. And they have a stonker. They have an absolute stonker of a match. And Harry Smith wins. Beats Gunther. Oh, I did it. Oh. Beats Walter at Clash of the Castle. Becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. Similar to SummerSlam all those years ago when the British Bulldog beat Shawn Michaels. I think it's time to elevate Walter above the Intercontinental Championship. You've got a new star created in Harry Smith, who never really got a fair shot when he was brought in, 2 years ago or a year ago. And yeah, just take some chances on these surprise returns. And Walter can easily slot into the main title picture, especially if Drew beats Roman. If Drew beats Roman, I think Walter versus Drew McIntyre is a feud right there. He doesn't have the Intercontinental Championship anymore. Harry Smith can have open challenges, great match. He doesn't have to hold it for long. It can only be a short-term thing, but you just get that monster reaction at Clash of the Castle. And let's be honest, there's not many challenges left for Walter on SmackDown anyway. You've got Ricochet, who's been buried into the ground. Shinsuke Nakamura, they're sort of entangled in a feud. So why not do this? Why not bring him in for this one-off appearance, win the belt? It'd be an insane reaction. And jobs are good and all done, all tidied up. Bow on. Walter goes off to challenge Drew and open challenges and stonking matches from Harry Smith. That is what I think should happen at Clash of the Castle. Those are my 5 matches that I want to see at Clash of the Castle. Let me know how wrong I am in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.